Coming up next, we find out more about forgood.co.za. Do you sometimes feel lost, like you want to help your community but you don't quite know where to start? Well, a new website has solved that problem. Forgood.co.za connects people and charities, kind of like dating for good causes. Let's check them out. We're catching up and checking in with Andy Hadfield, who is the CEO of forgood.co.za, connecting people, good causes, volunteers. Tell me more, where did this all start?
Yeah, that's a long story, but you know, quite a while back we picked up that there's a bit of a groundswell in South Africa of people who want to do good. They want to get more involved with their country. They realize that we can't just sit back and wait for the government to solve everything. You know, we have to get involved. And yet, for those who want to get involved, where do they start? You know, giving back is actually quite hard. Who do you go to? Who can you trust? How can you do something that you're passionate about? And For Good was pretty much formed to solve that problem. Is make it easy for people to connect to causes and find a way to meaningfully give back to society.
So a very visible counter that you have is actually on your website, where you can see the number of people volunteering and joining the cause. But what's it been like so far in terms of traction and participation?
The traction's been pretty amazing. So we relaunched For Good in its kind of current format January 28th last year. So we're about a year old. We've seen well over 60,000 people through the portal so far. And the counter, which is technically a little low, it's quite a lot more than that because we're only measuring the primary journey, so volunteers' donations, sitting on just under 1,400 at the moment. So traction's been amazing. And I think the coolest thing, though, has been the stories behind the traction. So, you know, people often call us online dating for the social sector, because that's kind of what we do. You know, we try and create a meaningful match between a person and a cause, a person and a person. But sometimes when that match goes well, some real magic appears, especially with some of the causes that you're talking to on this very show.
Speaking of which, I mean, there's quite a variety, and there's many ways people can participate, lend their time. What are some of the all sorts that you have right now?
I mean, the range of things that you can do is truly staggering. I mean, we've had everything from people wanting to value books, to teach kids, to coach soccer, to lay networking cabling, to building apps, designing board games. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And I think that's one of the cool things, is that volunteering has to mean something to you, has to be about something you're passionate about, and it also has to mean something to the cause. So if you can find the right match, it's going to make everything better in the end.
Andy, any plans for world domination?
There's lots of plans for world domination. I mean, South Africa is a wonderful test bed because we have a very vocal civil society. You know, it's a strong part of our democracy, I think, is the fact that people are so involved and want to be so involved. So testing here, and then the idea is to take it out to other developing nations who need a stronger civil society, for instance. So Africa next.
Anything else that you're looking to add, or little sneak peeks of information that we can get to look out for?
Well, I think the whole point of For Good is that we've tried to keep it really simple. So, you know, when you connect to a cause, that's primarily what we do. I like to say we do three things, which, you know, may be of interest. So firstly, we allow people to respond to the needs of an approved bunch of causes. And that's important because approved means you can trust them, and responding to their needs means you're doing something that they want. Not something necessarily that you want, but something that they want. The second thing you can do, which is actually how one of our volunteers met EmpowerVet, is you can create an offer. So this is for people who want to give something that they're passionate about, but might not be listed there. So absolutely anything they want to do, they can create an offer, and we will match that out to causes in their interest category, say housing and homelessness, HIV, education, and in their area. And then interested causes will get back to them. And then the third thing we do, which is kind of probably the most powerful part of For Good, is that big South African corporates are using us as their employee volunteering platform. So instead of just connecting South African citizens with causes, we're now connecting the human capital of South Africa's biggest corporates into the social sector. And there's some real power and ability to affect change inside there.
Love that. Oh, Andy, we support you, we salute you. What a way to connect doing good and convenience. Next, we're off to visit a charity where the For Good match became a match made in heaven. But first, let's swing by HTXT Africa to look at a very cool new Periscope app. Amanda Blankfield-Kossoff is the CEO of EmpowerVet. Tell me, first and foremost, what you do and how it actually syncs with For Good.
So I run an organization called Empowerate, which runs a program. The main program is the Youth Citizens Action Program. That's YCAP for short. And what it is, it's a program that promotes active citizenship and empowerment of our youngsters in schools across the country. We partner with the Department of Education, and we've got some funders like Deutsche Bank and UTI. And what we do is we basically empower the learners with a toolkit that explains how to run a project. So then they can go and find problems and solve them within their own schools and communities.
Amanda, how cool has it been to actually witness the change that this is making out there?
Well, the problem with NGOs is that they're always looking for funding and people to donate time and people to come and be involved. But it's difficult to find the people. And then on the other side, people don't know where to go to give up their time and give up their resources. So For Good is like a matchmaker, and it puts you in a position where whatever you need to give or whatever you need, you can actually access it. So I find that it's very useful and it's very helpful to have a platform like For Good.
Are there any cool success stories that you'd like to share?
Well, the first one that we had was Internet Solutions, who found us on the For Good website, and they were looking for an organization to do a Mandela Day volunteer day with. So we actually worked with them and we did a great day at a school, and they came to teach the kids all about how YCAP works, and it was fun for everyone. So hopefully they'll get more involved now that they know who we are. And then also we found the volunteer Harish, who's going to help us with more mentorship this year. Last year he was doing blogging for us on our website.
Speaking of involvement, how would you encourage and put some plus points on getting involved to others out there?
Well, the first thing is that we always need people to spread the word about who we are so that we can get more support in the form of either monetary donations or time or resources. So obviously the more people who know about us and know what we need, the more people can help us. So, we're out there, we're ready to work with people, we're willing to, help people meet their needs and their goals at the same time meeting our own. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
A little birdie actually whispered to us that you go quite hands-on with the project at this very school, which is the sick bay.
Yes, so the reason we're at Minerva High today is because they are the Gauteng provincial champions for YCAP of last year. So what happened was they decided that one of the projects they wanted to do was to build a sick room in their school because they didn't have one.
Wow.
So they managed to actually go and fundraise from First Rand. They come on board, and they also went and they did all kinds of campaigns in the school to explain why they need a sick bay and why they need to protect this area and make it a sacred space for people who are ill, so not to abuse it, obviously. So they actually came and cleared out the whole room. There was a storeroom. It had all old books and computers and like stuff that no one was even using. And they came, the learners themselves, the grade 10s, came and cleared that whole room, and then they got in contractors to come and build a wall to separate the boys' side from the girls' side. And then they managed to get furniture like beds and little side tables and first aid kits. And then two of the staff and one learner actually went on a first aid course as well. So that was all part of their project, and that's why they won the Gauteng Provincial Championships. So thanks to organizations like First Rand who came on board to assist them, they managed to achieve their dream of getting a sick bay.
We love your work, Amanda, and we love CEOs with serious plans too. I'm with Harish Manadia, who is a volunteer for forgood.co.za. How did you stumble across the website?
Well, I've always had a passion for trying to help people, especially youth, with regards to their issues and development programs. But I didn't know where to start. So one day I was just Googling stuff around Johannesburg, and then I found the For Good website. And from there I created an offer offering time as a commodity towards this good cause, and that's how I got involved with this.
And that's really one of the beauties about this website, that so many different skills can be shared and services. What exactly do you offer?
What I predominantly selected was in terms of youth development, youth empowerment, and to develop critical skills that they need for their life after school. Some things like Excel, PowerPoint, Word, those kind of things which are essential for day-to-day life, but which not all kids have the opportunity to learn at school or at home. So these are certain areas where I have created the offer, and it has worked out well in that sense that I've got to meet people like Empowerate who have come to the party with this kind of offering, and that's how I've taken it from there.
So how long have you been part of volunteering for forgood.co.za, and how much time does it actually take from your schedule?
It's not been a very long time since I've personally got involved. So For Good has been quite recent for me, but it doesn't really eat a lot into my schedule because I do work full-time, but I do this on the weekends or in the evenings when I have some time. And it really doesn't take a lot of time for you to advise students, to guide students, because a lot of the students do catch on quite quickly. So it really doesn't take a long time.
So you're looking forward to a few good success stories then?
Yes, definitely. Whatever I can do to contribute to the society and to youth upliftment and development, I'm definitely keen on doing that. And I've come across a few bright young students, and given the right opportunity, I'm sure they will be able to shine in society.
Do you think you're going to spur on some of your friends to get involved?
Definitely. I'm a blogger as well. I have a shipping blog that I write, and I can always link it up to For Good, and that will create a good interaction between those two. And I know of sure some people that are definitely interested in doing that.
Well, thank you so much, Harish. Now you see there is absolutely no excuse to get involved. Wow, I'm inspired. Technology been used for good. Well, if you want to make a difference in your community, you can start the journey by going to forgood.co.za. But first, another awesome review from Hypertext Africa.